Family, listen to me. How many of you can look back over this year and recognize that God has been better to you than you deserve? How many of you started 2018 talking about how faithful you were going to be to God? I'm going to get back in church. I'm going to start giving. I'm going to start serving. I'm going to get active. I'm going to do right. Treat my husband right. Treat my wife right. Do better as a citizen. All of those different commitments that you vowed to make. But in this moment, as we go into a new year, as we prepare, and I know all of us have that hopeful gleam. I see it in your eyes this morning. I see the glitter, the hope. I see it in your eyes. But don't let your commitment to God wane as the year goes on. Remember how good God has been to you this year. And as we go into 2019, I challenge you as your pastor, I challenge you now to commit yourself to God. You hear me what I'm telling you? Don't commit yourself to God as long as everything is going your way. Am I right? I was sitting down and I spent about an hour with Sister King on yesterday. And one of the reasons why I love going to talk to Sister King, it's not always because I'm going to just check on her. Sometimes I just love listening to her talk. And I just sat there and I just let her talk. And she began to tell me about Pastor Lawson. And she said, well, once upon a time, we used to sell chicken dinners. She said, I know because I used to make the pies. And she said, Pastor Lawson said, we're not selling another chicken dinner. Because the chicken is not what God called the sacrifice. Didn't he say that? Y'all heard him say it, didn't you? I wasn't here, but y'all heard him say it, didn't he? He said it was you that God called to be sacrificial in your giving and sacrificial in your living. Am I right about it? And Sister King said, you know, certain people just, they didn't like it. They didn't like it when he said that. But you know what? We knew that God was leading our pastor. You hear me what I'm trying to tell you? And I don't know why Sister King told me that. But don't you know I needed to hear that? And somebody here needs to be reminded of that. That you don't commit yourself to God as long as everything is going your way. Isn't that right? You don't commit yourself to God as long as everything is comfortable. Some of y'all only show up as long as you ain't got no problems. Now, what kind of God would God be if he only showed up for you as long as you were doing right? Hello, somebody. And I just wanted to share that with somebody today, that as you go into 2019, you commit yourself unto the Lord. Not just to showing up to church, but commit yourself to raising your children. Commit yourself in your marriage. Commit yourself on your job. Don't let folks just be giving you money and you just getting away with not doing your job. No, commit yourself. You said you're going, I'm getting ready to preach about this, but you said you were going to save your money, but yet you spend every dime you get. When will it stop? When will you commit yourself to doing what you've declared you're going to do? How much longer will God just do it for you anyway? Knowing that you are able to do it yourself. Amen? God says, I am God. I do that which is impossible. But oh family, that which is possible, we ought to be doing ourselves. Isn't that right? If it's possible, you ought to do it. Don't tell me it's impossible for you to forgive. Don't tell me it's impossible for you to bridle your tongue. Don't tell me it's impossible for you to save your money. Hello, somebody. And so then, I said all that to say this. As we go into 19, we are, at this church, we are declaring that 2019 will be the year of commitment. We had the year of favor and we had the year of better, but 2019 is going to be the year of commitment. Do you receive that this morning? It will be the year of commitment. Now, when I say we are declaring, I'm not saying I'm declaring or prophesying anything over your life. I'm saying this is the challenge to us as the church. This is the challenge to us as Mount Pilgrim, to commit ourselves unto the Lord. Amen? that the church, listen to it. Listen to the melody. Keep playing. Listen to it. Do you hear the melody? Can you hear it? Listen. Do you hear it? Now how do you dance to this melody here? Let me tell you how you dance. Do you hear what Devin is doing? You hear that rhythm? It's a consistent beat. It's a consistent beat, and it shows you how to move. You know, the choir director will then tell you you go this way and then you why? Because that rhythm, that consistent rhythm. Do you hear it? That's what the church ought to be in your life. It ought to be a consistent rhythm in your life that you can dance to life because you have the consistent rhythm. But the problem is that the rhythm of life becomes inconsistent. You are not praying. You're not showing up to church. You're not reading your word, and you wonder why you can't do the dance of life. I didn't mean to do all this, but I want to tell you that it's the year where I commit myself to showing up to church. I commit myself to loving others more than I love myself. I commit myself to being faithful. I commit myself to believing in God. Am I right about it? Do you receive that this morning? Do you receive that challenge? Do you receive that challenge?